Well, hello, everyone. This is Amber Geehan, your terrific Tuesday $1 Million Messenger, calling you from the greater Kansas City area. And boy, oh boy, was it so much fun at Leadership to meet so many of you that are loyal listeners that for years now, I cannot even tell you how grateful we are. You feel like, we've blessed you with a message or whatever, but I will tell you, we are the ones that have received such a blessing by doing this recording to get to the privilege and the opportunity not just to share our lives with you, but you to share your lives with us. So I am grateful for each of you that sought me out, found me, and just shared something that impacted your life, because it sure meant a lot to me, even with myself changing my hair color. You still were able to not find me. So fun. Well, I wanted to share a little bit, two different areas. One is from the Southwest Airlines magazine. As many of you know, my husband works in management of Southwest Airlines, and then also from some excerpts from a book that I've been reading again that I shared at our directors meeting in San Diego. So the title, this is actually a letter at the beginning of the magazine. Every single new edition of it, Gary Kelly, which is the CEO of Southwest Airlines, writes a letter. And this one, the first part of it is on the power of kindness. And he says, he goes through, let's see, I recently read an article in the New York Times where the writer was telling a story about meeting up with old friends and reminiscing about the past. When the conversation shifted to the future, one of the friends posed the question, if we were having tea 3 years from now in the exact same place, sitting in these exact same chairs, what would need to happen for each of us to be happy with those 3 years? Can we say it again? If you were to have tea with your friends 3 years from now in the exact same place, sitting in these exact same chairs, what would need to happen for each of you to be happy with those 3 years? Well, it takes us to the quote that I've adopted that Jordan gave us so many years ago is, will you be glad, a year from today, will you be glad you did what you did today? A year from now, will you be glad you did what you did today? So one of the things that I went through, and I know many of you, if you're even listening to this call, probably feel like you've been called to Mary Kay, and you kind of wonder, sometimes like, really, Lord, was this what you meant? This, people canceling on me, this self-growth, it's painful. But at one point or another, you understand that it's not an accident. You're here. And one of the things that I truly believe is that there is somebody somewhere needing you to walk in your confidence of your calling in order for their life call to be revealed. And I just think that's an amazing privilege, an amazing mandate that you should be happy to carry, that when you walk in your call, that's going to reveal somebody else's call in their life as well. Well, in that, though, have you ever felt discouraged in the process? Oh, I know I have. When you're feeling like, it's the 21st today, and I don't have one team member yet, and I wanted to have 10. Maybe that's you. Maybe you have, 7 and you wanted 20. I don't know, but have you ever felt discouraged in your efforts? Well, I understand as well. A quote that says, don't expect your training to look like your calling. Don't expect your preparation to look like your promise. The key to precision is preparation. Before you can see it, you need to perceive it. And that I got from, of course, I'm going to forget the book I'm reading right now again, The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. So The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. So getting a new result and changing old patterns is understanding that every single thought you have only has 2 roots. And now this is from Dr. Caroline Leaf. So I've got kind of like a smush of everything here. But your thoughts have 2 roots only. Isn't that encouraging to know that you have 2 roots that have developed every thought in your mind? One is love, and the other is fear. So how many thoughts do we have that are anchored in fear? So steps to change. This is my new Tuesday factoid for you, which I love, which I learned from Dr. Caroline Leaf. The greatest growth of your brain happens between the ages of 10 to 15. So think of what happened in your life that you could be modeling or rebelling against today that happened or was spoke to you between the ages of 10 to 15. Well, it could be, I actually said it out loud at our director's meeting and everybody repeated it with me. But did you ever hear when you were a kid, what do you think money grows on? Trees. What do you think I'm made of? Money. And that kids are supposed to be seen and not heard. You think about the things you heard between the ages of 10 to 15. I also will have to say, girls and kids in general are not nice between 10 to 15 to each other. They're mean. And social media has made it no better. And so, but to look at your life, what was modeled to you between the ages of 10 to 15 that maybe you took as your own, but was never meant to be yours, And so that could be a pattern that you have going on in your life right now. Well, there's 4 steps I want to give you to real change in your life. And it is a process. Know that it's a process. It's a daily process. But the first step is awareness. Consider the ways of your habits, each from your parents. So consider the habits you have right now that could have come from your parents, had it be around money, wealth, or success. Write down I'm trying to read my own notes here. Okay, so write down how you might be modeling them or rebelling against it. So the first is awareness. Second is understanding. Write down the effect this modeling has had on your financial life, your success life, and your relationships. So write down the effect this modeling has had. The fourth step is disassociation. Can you see this way of being is only what you learned, and it is not you? That's a great statement. Question. Can you see that what you learned isn't you? Can you see that you have a choice in the present moment to be different? So disassociation is number 3. And number 4 is declaration, where you've modeled around money, finances, or success. Maybe it is that what he states is that you touch your heart and you say a new declaration, is that I have a success mind. I have success habits. I have a millionaire mind, and you touch your brain. Or you have a success brain. Whatever it is that you're going to walk through and disassociate with. Maybe it's failure. Maybe it's poverty mentality. Maybe it's that you can't be so successful because you think your family won't love you anymore. Maybe it's you heard growing up that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Maybe you heard that, rich people aren't honest people. Whatever your parents' Freudian slips were have impacted your life today. Okay, so usually you're modeling one of your parents, or rebelling against it. So create a declaration where you state what you want by touching your heart and putting your hand over your heart. Then you take your fingers and point to your brain and I have a success mind. I have an abundant mind. Whatever it is that you need to change in your mind, maybe it's that you have the poverty mentality. So maybe you're going to state, I am successful. I am great. Wealth is attracted to me. And then touch your mind and touch your head and say, I have a success mind. So it's creating a new declaration. The most powerful way that you could actually do it is state these declarations looking at yourself in the mirror. So God doesn't need you to be perfect, but he does want you to keep making progress. If you plow, he will promote. This is one of the things I want to repeat. I'm sure I shared this many years ago, but I think this is just a huge, huge, huge thing that I shared as well, because I do believe your success, your success will impact generations to come. And it is something that I take a huge responsibility in, because I think about your investment in one woman can change generations. Whether it be that you believed in her, that you helped her feel beautiful for a day, you helped her with a new thought, or you brought her into Mary Kay, you help her grow her confidence, surround her with like-minded people that she becomes a better mom, wife, person in the community, person in her business. You impact lives by asking for someone to have a facial. You impact generations by asking someone to join Mary Kay with you. But this is the Bureau of Labor states that the average adult with kids under the age of 6 devotes 2 hours of intentional time with their kids. The average adult home with kids between the ages 6 to 17 average is 47 minutes a day. But yet the average American home has the TV on for 7 hours a day. 11 million kids under the age of 5 are in child care 37.5 hours a week. CNN stated that 1 in 5 high school students have seriously considered suicide. 1 in 12 have attempted it. The average home is in credit card debt in excess of $15,480, with their student loan average at $30,000. 50% of all homes end in divorce. 90% contributed to finances. Raymond Bell, who's in charge of the U.S. prison system, stated that 70% of all inmates are from broken homes. Most juveniles are the age of 14 to 16, and 90% of their crimes were committed between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. So that's most juveniles in the juvenile court system. But most of their crimes, 95% of their crimes, were between the ages of the time of 4 and 6 p.m. He was asked, how do we improve this? And he said, stop it before it starts. Ladies, it's time to stop blaming the government, the school system, the economy, and start taking personal responsibility to be priests in a fallen world, and to challenge yourself. If you have been somebody who has thought that money doesn't make a difference, let me tell you, money makes a difference. It buys choices, it frees women from debt and bondage, and it helps children not spend hours upon hours in child care. When you invite a woman into Mary Kay, you potentially impact marriages, children, their finances, and the rest of their life. How selfish could we be not to ask? It is our job to ask. It is their job to say yes or no. A work-from-home mom role models values, ethics, leaves a legacy for her kids to follow. What other job can do that? It shows them that their mom chooses to design a successful career around her highest top priorities and not letting someone decide their priorities for her. As a woman grows personally in confidence, discipline, communication skills, money management, becoming a better servant leader by choosing to serve and uplift, she naturally produces more emotionally healthy, confident kids, because face it, you and I cannot pass on what we do not personally possess. And so this is my call to you to sit down, get in your phone, and be willing to write down every single person that you need to revisit about the career or you have not shared the products with or the career. And I personally did it, and out of my phone, I shudder to even tell you this. I have 91 people I've written down. But from my reach out so far, I have added 8 new personal team members. So ladies, who is sitting in your phone begging for you just to ask? Usually the ratio is if you ask 35 people to listen to the career, 15 will say yes, and 5 will join your team. Will you commit to a minimum of 35 people you'll reach out to today? Today. Do not put off for tomorrow what should be done today. Let's reach out to them today. So I challenge you to that. So either way, I hope this is a blessing to you. This is Amber Geehan, your Terrific Tuesday $1 Million Messenger signing off. Have an amazing Tuesday.